Okay, so should be live again. I'm hoping the stream does not randomly decide to cut out this time around, because I do not know what happened last time around. It just stopped. And I'm going to verify I'm actually streaming before doing anything at the moment. I do not know why the stream is cutting out. Okay, why does the quality look so bad on my end? Oh, it might be fine. Can't keep up with most recent thing. Okay, well, we are back. I don't know why the stream stopped. But I'm hoping things continue to be good enough to continue. If not, I'll have to look into this probably tomorrow and hopefully fix whatever's going on. But yeah, I kinda had a woolly spawn in between realizing the stream wasn't working and getting it going again. Everything looks like it's probably working. There just might be a bit more delay on it than normal, but it's not that big of a deal. And hopefully this one doesn't crash out on me like the last one and quit working. And we already got another one. I think we might only need one more after this, and then we'll finally be crafting the True Axe of Time. Which will definitely be excellent, because then we can move on to the next item. And I really hope we don't have any more stream issues. That'll kind of be a thing I probably find out within the next 30 minutes. And I'm just gonna check how many horns I have here, because if we don't need to keep going, there's no sense in continuing. Oh yeah, so we are done. Nice. We get the True Axe of Time. This was a very quick farming session compared to normal. I was fully expecting this to be multiple sessions of things. Canyons, do any of you have quests? Oh, you do. Birdfish Tapestry, White Colored Rod. I like that I can just give you whatever I have for that. Yeah, because I don't think I'm ever going to use that again. Check this house. Nothing. Dude, another quest. Fish for life flag. I'll just give you whatever Spelunker pants I have. If I can keep them to you, because I don't think I use these.
Thank you.
And hopefully we get some recipes at some point, because I think some of these companions can give you recipes. Seafood Banquet. Do this as well, because probably craft another one of these really easily. I also want to maximize golden flowers for tomorrow, so keep doing those, and then go figure out the True Axe of Time situation to see if I can just craft this, or if I'm going to have to do more scouring through things and figuring out who's got the True Active Time equipped. Looks like nobody has it. Or I guess it's the normal active time, not True Active Time. But we're finally getting this after what was probably me pushing it off quite a bit, because I ended up getting the True Out of Time instead of this when I had the resources to craft one of these the first time around, mostly because I didn't have an Evil Shard at that point. And now, I think after this I'll have one Evil Shard for usage for something else later on. And, Alchemist made me use one of them because I had, well, I don't know if I got Alchemist, I think I got Alchemist hero rank. And Alchemist required using one of those to craft the Berserk Potion, which was required for hero rank, and also I was kind of doing some messing around with damage, which turned out I didn't need that for what I was doing. And now we can go look at that. I think I'm going to need to recraft that a few times, though, because I want double charged attack up. Yeah, we have one of the two rolls I want, and then this should just be the best option for primary character now. So we're just going to remake it a couple of times. Or, I mean, hopefully we only have to remake it once, but it may be a couple of times. I am basically just looking for that charged damage roll, because most of my attacks should be charged attacks, and in doing so, I will be maximizing my damage at most of the time, if not all the time. I hate that the hammer stuff always seems slow. I think this run is actually really bad because it keeps having me doing the tap actions and I keep failing those. Hopefully this tapping is successful. Okay, so we did craft it here. I don't know if it can get worse. We still got a perfect though. We get charged attack damage plus, assuming that it's the... it's only the 5%. I wanted the 10%. We'll have to do that again. So we can maximize the damage. Apparently I keep messing up there for whatever reason. Not that it's mattering a whole lot, because this run is just going way better than the last one. Oh, we only got a grape to there, but this one I can skip the tap action. And honestly, I'm just gonna switch between companions and finish this out without actually doing anything. Hopefully that's the 10% one instead of the 5. 10, and then 10. So the axe should be done. It actually went very quick compared to what I was expecting. So at this point, it'd be time to look into getting Anglering to hero rank as kind of just a break from farming the woolly horns, and then after that I'll go back and do more horn farming. We'll craft the Hoe of Time, and then we'll probably end up doing even more horn farming after that, and hopefully end up getting everything I need relatively quickly. So what all did we need at B2? Again, carpentry. switch to the angler life so everything pops in. So at least 15 fish at B2. And it might just be the cat cave fish. And we can also test it out relatively quickly here after we do a couple fishing on B3 or B2. We can just go down to B3. I hope there's more than just the one fishing spot in here. And then once we get the True Hoe of Time, depending on what time it is, which at the rate we're going, likely we will just do a 900 floor treasure grove run. Because there really shouldn't be any issues with that. Especially because I kind of want to evaluate how effective that is for leveling up the gathering classes the rest of the way. Yeah, I need to just use the charged Y attack on that so we get double loot. Oh nice, there's 3 fish in here. Or actually, I need to remember to use the LB plus Y because it's over here. Get it down, I don't know, to there, and we'll just use this. Did we get 4 fish from that one? That's a lot. Leaky tuna, that's not quite what we're going for yet, but we'll be fine. I hope that I don't have to find like a secret room for the one fish I'm missing. Cactus fish. Which all okay, so this must just be a rare thing, or it's on the big fish nodes and I've only tried one of those. Oh, there's the catfish. I only got 1 loot there, so that was kind of a mistake on my end. It is on the big fish node, which is good to know. Please be our last catfish. Yay! And now, I mean, outside of ripping lips, it's just gonna be going down to depths B3. I'll have to look at building that. Maybe it just makes sense to do combat for building that. We are able to use it here just because we're going to need to end up using that quite a few more times yet. And then, I guess because things really don't matter at that level of difficulty, or B2 at this point, we will go down to B3 for the rest of this. Except we may or may not do the full Rip and Lips thing, because I'm kind of behind on that. But the rest of the progression will be done.
ready for battle.
We just gotta go find where the fish are down here. Kinda all over the place. Although, fight these guys to get the ability charged back up. Yeah, it's hopefully this is kinda quick at charging. I don't know, it seemed kinda bad. There's no reason to go left there. Yeah, that's just hardly any charge. There's some things I do that does a lot better. But like healing on the wizard doesn't do anything here. And there's no farming. Farming gets you to your super like instantly. I'll just catch this one. Skeleton fish. I actually have to go around for that. It's annoying.
Cast aside your doubts.
Catching these and hopefully getting something in the meantime.
Don't give up, no matter what.
Cast aside your doubts.
I didn't want a sneaky tuna. I don't think that counts for anything. At least we have a super here. Okay, so most of the ghosts are out of the way, so they can't keep bothering us. Try this. And I'll have to go look to see if there's a better area to try to get supers up for fishing. I don't think I needed smelt. Oh, I guess I did need smelt. Wait, well, these are small fish, so we'll just go catch this one. And then we'll go run around and catch the other one. I'm surprised that was the correct spot. Usually it's not directly across from one that is still good. The small fish shadow here. Which we do need smell, and then I'll have to go look to see what other fish I need.
Don't give up, no matter what.
Okay, so that's the last smelt. I need the quartz fish, and that should be it. According to the game, I have to go in there. Need to go backtrack up this way. I'd say what sheerly for the possibility of getting super attack off, we'll go check out the deep sea lordfish or crystalline bass, whatever's over here. Twice this is the deep sea lordfish very frequently right now. I think it's been a while since I've seen the crystalline bass.
Don't give up, no matter what.
Okay, we're just gonna start with this because we get some charge while doing.
Don't give up,
things.
no matter what.
And that's an excellent catch, so we should get 2 of them. Always very useful. At this point, yes, we need 4 more of those, which take a little while, but overall this is pretty quick. I think some of the other hero ranks are quite a bit grindier, and then this one's just, you do a little bit of fishing and you're done. Plus I already did whatever was more complicated.
Merely carried out my duty.
Just annihilate Hagram there.
Yo!
Quite a few fish in here, I think. I'll have to get that ball roller out. There's the sweet spot. I'll just do this a bunch of times. Not entirely sure what the most efficient way is to grind the supercharge, because that's... okay, we have it now. It's good. Only have a couple more we need to do after this. And hopefully I find the quartz fish here. Melt. Quartz fish is seeming increasingly rare. Game, please give me the quartz fish, you can do it. I don't want the sneak fish. It'd be annoying, like, if once we catch it and it turns out the quartz fish pretty much only spawns on the big ones.
No matter what.
Cast aside your doubts.
Charged Y here and pull out an excellent, and hopefully this is the quartz fish.
Aside your doubts.
I don't want the cactus fish. Quartz fish.
Cast aside your doubts.
And I lost getting the OP plus Y off, which, I mean, it's not necessarily bad we're not finding it. Okay, we finally got it. So, outside of ripping lips, I think I'm done. Which means just try to catch fish for a little bit longer, because it's only 2 of them. It's not actually that bad. We can cut the tree down in between here, because I think that'll accelerate things a little bit. I also think the charge to Y does quite a bit, but I can't just spam that. That random enemies out. And then cutting this tree down should go down really quickly. The A attack is doing about as much as my charged Y attack used to.
Don't give up, no matter what.
Cast aside your doubts.
Oh. Keep checking.
Cast aside your doubts.
Where is this? I'm surprised I haven't found the dead spot.
Don't give up, no matter what.
And now we only need to farm out 1 more of these. Hopefully we have some more fish respawn over here before I catch this one. I'll have to go find a new fish spot. Sorry, sweet spot's up here. breaking boxes.
Hmm.
We do have that fish, so I don't want to catch that fish though until I have the charge up, so we'll just go fight these enemies and then we'll go check the boss in the other room here. And the King Cobra's now down pretty much instantly. And now we get to kill a Mohawkosaurus in like 2 seconds. Didn't even get time to use the heated charge. No heated phase for you. Go down that fast. Hunter is just broken. I'll have to check Ranger out, see if Ranger's got stuff like that. Definitely underwhelmed with Wizard now after trying Hunter, but I think Hunter is the strongest melee class in the game, or combat class in the game. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Fish, please come back. Thank you. And now hopefully we can catch the fish. And real good. I think I'm gonna go grab that Chimera while I'm down here just because we're already most of the way there. And we don't really have to go out of our way or anything at this point to just go run down here and fight the Chimera. Oh no, you survived my Y attack. Supposed to be dead in less than a second. And just like that, the Chimera's out. Got the monster meat. So, actually, we want to go into the life menu and go straight to the angler, and then become a master or a hero rank angler.
Welcome. What is it?
Kind of a very quick thing to do, just so I can get all the nodes unlocked in angler.
My guppy.
Then we'll get that badge and pretty much nothing else. And go look at the skill board. Not so much that stuff I care about. It's basically this. A special charge skill rate for lives is really nice. I think I want to prioritize that though, because then Angler's maxed, and then when I get enough points next, I'll get that. Because it seems like the charge attack maxing is the goal at the moment. I guess I did farming the other way around, but farming I guess is kind of behind. Which, speaking of farming, we're going to be going into the True Hoe of Time farm now. Actually, I didn't need to fly back to the base, I need to go to Ginormosia. Well, I guess I can go put my trophy in my house now. Gotta come up with a better organization method. Like, I had a bunch of junk in my house because the game wanted me to put like 30 items in the house for one of those boards, and then I kind of ripped everything up because, like, well, at some point I'll go through and organize this, which I still need to go do. But I do want to have all the trophies in my house somewhere, I think. Unless I can come up with a cool way to display them otherwise. Yeah, so far, that's all the lives I've gotten to master rank. That pop-up that there. All those are gone now, hopefully. Anyone have a quest for me? Nope. So we do need to get a couple antlers before we can craft the base Hoe of Time. I think I need to go farm out 3 antlers. Which, if we're lucky, should only be 2 kills. Then I'll craft it, and then we'll decide if we need any of the, or have to do any extra farming to get anything else for this. What level is this steel turtle? Level 80. I'm a little tempted to go fight that, but we can go do that once we get a spawn. Hopefully we get that spawn pretty quickly. Yeah, so it looks like we got a spawn down here. Let's go run over to the turtle. I want to kill the steel turtle first. Because I want to see how crazy the damage is, because I haven't done this to enough things yet. Actually surprised I haven't gotten a crit yet. Unless you just can't crit this boss, but I mean, even with no crit I got so much damage. Annihilate everything. And I'm not even doing anything too crazy on Hunter, I'm just using Hunter. And the thing is, I could probably get even more damage on Hunter, it's just... whenever I crit, I'm already hitting the cap. And thank you for whoever subscribed, I see that we tripped over to 180. Yeah, I did set that up. If you guys don't like it, I can try to move it at some point, or hide it for the stream.
Yo! Yo!
Here you go.
Going around here, and then we'll go fight the Don Wooly. And I think pretty much at this point my subscriber tracker thing there should only break if we get 1,000 subscribers, which will happen eventually, but I don't know how long that's going to be. I kind of want to do this, although I think I'm going to be underwhelmed by the damage. Oh, we didn't even get to do the damage properly on that. That only looks like 3 drops. And it was. We only got 1 horn. That sucks. I guess I should also check to make sure the shop hasn't moved. I think the shop was... Okay, so the shop has moved. Where is the shop? You're down here. Might actually see if we can get a woolly first, because if it spawns down there, then we don't have to go very far. Woolly goes somewhere else, then we'll just do it and then go to the woolly. We also, I guess, might not even get a woolly, but likely I'll skip it unless it is a woolly. Still no bosses. we do have a thing. Okay, I don't care about that one still. They do kind of need to add more uses for the spuds, unless there is more to use them with cooking. I just haven't looked into it far enough. But I'm not even sure you get hero rank recipes for getting cooking to hero rank, so as far as I can tell, there's not a whole lot of stuff to use there. Rank 4 here. And outside of that spot, though, we've had a pretty long dry spell of just nothing. And there's the fish, which also skipping at this point. Funny thing is, even if a recipe did require like 10 of those fish, I probably have 10 of them. So that's a tree, which I mean, I could grab, but also just because I don't need wood at the moment, we're not going to do it. Check that. The other thing is, for most of the rest of the videos, okay, so we got a Don Wooly, but it's not the right Don Wooly. So we'll go check the shop, then we'll go do the Don Wooly, and then go back to resetting. But yeah, I was just hoping we'd get a Don Wooly down here, because basically you can just get a Don Wooly at some point down here, and then we would have been halfway there getting the Wooly and wouldn't have had to do as much traveling. Okay, so no interesting patterns, which is kind of annoying. I know there's some, at least I think there's some interesting patterns that Don sells. I have seen a screenshot, or a couple different screenshots from a couple different people of like a Snapdragon costume, and I don't think I've gotten anything for that yet. I mean, I've gotten these things, but I don't think there's a same type of costume going on with that. And then you can get the dragon wings from the shop at the base, which I think I've already gotten. But I have no clue where you get the Snapdragon costume. And I'm mostly just checking to make sure I don't have it. I know you have this Curatella costume that you just get. And then I've gotten Rem's outfit randomly from just doing random stuff. I think the Rem's outfit is tied to you getting a time thing and then harvesting with it or killing enemies with it, but I could be wrong. It is the dragon wings, but that is only one part of the whole outfit. I think Dawn is the one that sells them all. But I could be wrong about that. If any of you actually know where those are sold, please let me know. I guess it could be the mysterious cosmetics box, but I don't really know what's in that. I would assume that's just character customization stuff. Got 2 horns from that, so that's good. I think that lets me craft the True Hoe of Time after I get like, or just craft a gold bar. Gone past it. Yeah, it's right here. Okay, we just need gold now, so we'll go open a gate. then we craft a gold bar, and once we get that, we should be able to craft the Hoe of Time, and then we'll have to go pick up the pattern for the True Hoe of Time, which hopefully doesn't cost something absurd in the Treasure Grove, because there are stuff I need to get out of there yet. I'm hoping it just costs farming materials. Because, like, my hope is it just costs whatever you get from harvesting the Shadow Carrot. But I don't know. And we'll know really quickly here, though. Gonna make me get a bunch more invincible onion things. Something. But if it is just farming stuff, I probably already have it. And there's, I think, one fish I don't have any resources from, and then I've got stuff from everything, except for, I guess, the shadow version of the Mohawkosaurus. I didn't get all the stuff from that, if that drops anything at all. Got that. Too bad. This one basically doesn't matter, because we're just going to immediately go into crafting the true version. And hopefully Don moves around somewhere. I don't really know what the trigger is for Don moving, I just know he moves sometimes, and then we get new stuff. Definitely go grab that rock. Still where he was, so Jeff's not gonna have anything different. We'll turn these in, because these are always useful. And generally, most of these don't really consume much resources to just do stuff like this. Get a lot of farming stuff from doing very little amount of farming. And now we have the pattern for that, so we can make sure it doesn't cost anything absolutely crazy. Okay, so I don't like that it's costing the Sultan Heart, because I need those all the time. But at least we have everything, so we just need to get a bunch more horns, and then I'm done with this. It's like this one I also need to craft at some point, but that one's a lot less important. So for the most part, after I'm done with this, I'd probably just move on to crafting stuff like the True Shield of Time and maybe the True, like both of the sword stuff. It's actually pretty cheap. I am tempted to just craft this so we can see what the True Greatsword of Time costs, but not gonna worry about that right now. Go annihilate this guy now too, because I just can. I'm just continuously tempted to attack things because I did so much damage after setting this up the other day. There are ways to pull damage up even further, because I could try aging this bow. Honestly, I might try aging the bow soon, because if I get a insanely good roll on the bow, then all of a sudden I'm going to be dealing even more damage, and I'm wondering if I can get plus 30% damage up on charged attacks through aging. Because that's a pretty sizable damage buff. I mean, even plus 30% crit damage would be sizable if that's something you can get out of that, although less useful. But at least the plus 30%, or if that's possible, would be a huge amount of extra charged attack damage.
Cast aside your doubts.
Get through this. Just give me a little bit of a buffer for crafting things in the future.
Here, use this.
It's a sweet spot. Oh, so yeah, the camera angles are so much better than what they used to be. You way out into the distance now. I do wonder if they were originally had it set up the way they did to hide stuff on the map better. But either way, I'm glad they did what they did because it's very nice. And especially good for screenshots and photos. I did try to get quite a few screenshots when that unicorn mount came out temporarily. We weren't supposed to get that in the global release, though. I still hope they give us one at some point. But they could always technically... Well, I mean, I'm not entirely sure how they're... how it would work from whatever legal standpoint, but... they may be under, but it would be nice to just get a unicorn variant, even if it was... or if it has to be slightly different colors than the original one they had in mind.
Your time ends here. It's over.
Yeah, Hunter is... Every time I see those damage numbers, it's just like... I'm surprised you didn't even hit that. Yeah, I don't even know what they would do if they tried to buff Hunter. Or give Hunter extra levels or things to sink points into. I think we only got one from that. That one kinda sucked, I guess. And you must get a lot of points from that final upgrade. We'll just do that magic defense because that's more universal, and then we'll just hit this. And then either this final one is like 20 points or it's just 15. I'll hit level 100 pretty quickly here. As even if we don't hit level 100 from just killing random stuff, we'll pretty easily be able to just go into a 900-year treasure grove and hit the cap almost instantly, probably. And then hopefully we can find an aging altar when we do that too. The other thing I know I probably need to do at some point here, I mean, I did it with mining and woodcutting at this point. Care about that rock at the moment. I will care about rocks again some other day, but I'm very future-proofed in rocks at the moment. After I craft the Hoe of Time, I'll probably start doing them again, but... currently it's to a point where it just doesn't matter. And the other thing is, I think I just use legendary Don Wooly meat for aging materials because I have so much of that, and it's another material I don't think has a whole lot of use cases. Although I guess if I was making like that Final Feast or whatever it is all the time, maybe I would use it all, but I think that requires something you can only get from the Treasure Grove as well, so it's like very inefficient. Or no, it's just mostly, I don't know where you get the Snapdragon's Tear, and I don't want to just spend it on this. It might just be a thing where I need to kill a bunch of Snapdragons to go experiment with. And then I also need to work on cooking a little bit to make that, I think, a reasonable craft. Because basically, I haven't invested into cooking, and I haven't invested into tailoring beyond getting them to master rank, so I could get shop and the home base to max level. But again, I think tailor is more important than cooking, but I mean, cooking still has its uses because you can craft a lot of different foods that give you buffs. The only issue with those buffs is I don't need them most of the time, so I just don't spend the time to even try to craft them. And I'm getting into a more and more scenario with getting these true time gear that I will need the cooking less and less.
Here, use this.
Yeah, I think a dark unicorn would be very cool. I need to keep a better eye on chat because that seems to I like don't check it for a while because I don't see things going on in there, and then I quit looking. I'm sorry if I took a while to respond there. Finally got another one of these. Hopefully it's a double drop one again, and then progress continues to be accelerated. After farming this out, I just can't stop one-shotting stuff. I don't know.
Your time ends here. It's over.
I definitely at this point also want to see if the other classes have anything that's kind of that crazy in terms of damage output. Because the wizard doesn't seem to have anything like this. Unless I'm doing things wrong. Which I know you can get damage up quite a bit on wizard, but then you're stuck stacking multiple buffs. And thank you for hanging out. Always nice to have a couple people to chat with. And then at some point, as the channel grows a little, probably it'll be a little bit more active. And likely it won't happen in this stream, but I do think in future streams I will try to level up Ranger or Paladin or both of them in probably each in a separate stream, because based on how long it took to get Hunter fully online, that took most of a 5-hour stream. Although I think I spent way longer than I typically do farming up the legendary Bow of Time. As for whatever reason, that took a insanely long period of time to craft. Mostly because the Bow of Time we just weren't getting Don Woolly Horns at all. And then I kept having single drops instead of double drops. Nice. today seems to be a lot luckier. It's making me wonder how many more of these I actually want to farm out, because if I keep getting them, it might be worth trying to get an extra 10 of them. Rabbit going down. The turtle wins the race. Don Wally, you're gonna get absolutely annihilated nowadays. Yeah, it was like funny yesterday, or not yesterday, but on Wednesday, I got this bow set up, and I was like, thinking it was underwhelming, and then I started using it more and more and more. And now I'm hitting the damage cap on it. Because... yeah, I don't know, it was like I went in and immediately fought shadow enemies, and this bow, of course, was doing less damage than the Heavenly Arrow Shot, which that just kind of makes sense. And then now that I've leveled things, it does a ton of damage. Yeah, I don't know why Don Woolley keeps spawning better. We've also had a couple updates go through, so maybe they buffed the spawn rate. Although they didn't publicly say anything if that's what happened. That's very hard to tell if that's what ended up happening as well. Okay, so we are only 4. Feels a little low, because I think I've had 3 of them spawn at this point, but also it makes a little sense, because I think I only got single drops from 1 or 2 of them. Despite them spawning in more frequently at the moment. Even though it's not anything crazy. Yeah, the big goal today is basically just to make it so I can go do the high-level treasure groves and maximize assistance if I do that in public lobbies, or maximize my ability to do them solo if I decide to do a solo 900-year run. Which I'm also partially tempted to do the solo runs just because a lot of times I host multiplayer and it gets very laggy. Even though it's typically faster in multiplayer lobbies. Hopefully you quit getting that fish all the time. I know it does spawn every so often, but it hasn't been too much of a problem for me today, because after I got this area to rank 5, it decided to mostly quit spawning. But it could come back and bug me too shortly. Currently I'm getting nothing. Got a stone, which I will be skipping for the moment. Like, I think if it's a tree, I will do it, but that's about it for the moment, because I am a little oversupplied on things. And yeah, the game still has yet to convince me there's a reason to go do the spuds a whole lot. What do we get? Please be a tree. Nice, we have a tree. That just doesn't hurt, just because the trees are... I mean, they're not that rare, but... I'm currently low on wood, so... I know I'll need some more relatively shortly here, because if I try to craft... I don't entirely know what I would be crafting, but I will eventually need one for crafting. That'd also be nice hitting level 90 on woodcutting here. I thought I was already level 90. I guess I'm only level 90 on mining. But at this point, it's just trying to mitigate getting rejected for those conditional treasure grove lobbies, where they want you to have a certain life to level 90 in order to join, despite, at this point, my stats should all be high enough that I can join just about any lobby with no issues. And we're level 90 now. But to buy for upgrades, I could just get plus 30 wood cutting. Hit damage is never bad. I am somewhat tempted to do that, but also wider sweet spots is not that big of an impact. I think we'll just go with plus 30 wood cutting, because that's universally applicable even if I'm not critting. And critical hit damage is nice, but I don't think there's a high enough crit chance to do that, even with the Hunter life buff. Although Hunter crits a lot. Now, well, at some point, I guess, need to look into, is it possible to get crit rate even higher through armor, a charm, gear, or something? Just because it seems like there should be a way to increase crit chance with an item you can equip. And then again, that could just be me not having looked up whether or not that's doable. Because I would assume by now somebody's made a video about it, if it's possible, or somebody's made a Reddit thread about it, and I can go figure that out. I need to focus more, because there's no point in moving the camera. Okay. We did get a tree. In the same spot as the last tree. I'm gonna go see how quickly the big beak, or no, not this isn't the big beak, this is just a Quetzal, but very tempted just to see how quickly I beat these level like 80 or 90 bosses, because 100 is so much damage. Oh, you're immune now. 4 rounds of the charged Y attack and you go down. Like, if I was... I mean, I should try doing that again on Wizard, but I think if I'm on Wizard, that takes quite a bit longer still. Yeah, I'm basically having the same thing as you, where we're only getting wood right now. Then again, I actually need the wood, so I'm not so mad about this, just because I think I did that one. Oh, no, I didn't. But yeah, I'm kind of low on wood, despite I think most of the remaining crafting recipes only needing the rocks. Yeah, so like the Alchemist Flask requires rocks. I guess the Brush of Time requires wood. Which I will probably craft one of each of the crafting items, but I will probably only put that on my main character, and then I'm not going to equip them on any of the helpers, because I really don't think I want to spend the time buffing my helpers to the max they can possibly go. I mean, if I did anything, it would be more like I equip one of those, like the True Saw of Time on a carpenter, and then just to see how high I can get those plus stats to go, or assistance, but I wouldn't make a second one. I would just equip mine onto them and then equip their saw onto me. Just because it would make more sense for testing like that rather than going out of my way to craft another saw. And also, I think the player character has the biggest stat determiner when it comes to any of the crafting recipes. Why do I keep getting the trees? It's like the third tree in the same spot. Although I do still need a little bit more wood for the Brush of Time. I think that's the last item that actually requires any legendary wood. But are we stuck farming rocks in the future?
Don't give up, no matter what.
And I also want to, at some point, craft some of the weapons you get from
Don't give up, no matter what.
the slates, because some of those look really cool. Oh, the sweet spot didn't even move.
Here, use this.
And it would be kind of interesting to equip some of those as at least skins for your current equipped weapon. Because like I think the Sword of Apocalypse, the Tenebrian bow all look really cool. But I think they're a little expensive to craft, and I'd rather, I think before I do that, I'm gonna probably craft the armor sets you get from doing some of these things. Yeah, it's very good that it's not making me swim. Yeah, I do want a water mount or something. Like, the one thing I would have liked is, because they just did that Pegasus mount, and it floats. So, what I would like this thing to do is if you take it over water for it to just walk on water. Because it's floating. I would think this could walk on water. I guess, I don't know, I guess if I should do that, like, feedback form and suggest that they allow the Pegasus to walk on water. Because it is a floating mount, you are in the middle of the air. And it would just be nice for that. Not, maybe they could add like a sea serpent or something that's like similar to Lapras. But yeah, I do think the Pegasus should be able to just kind of float over the water, and then I think we have another thing that should be able to float over water. It's like, this looks like, when I looked at this originally, I thought this was a boat. I think it's just a flying thing. And it would be nice if this also can go over water, although I don't know what's all going on with it. And that one turns out to be a little annoying to get, because you have to pull a bunch of the, like, mystery boxes. I can actually go clear those off. I will just go over there. I'll choose the gate, because just return me to base camp. But you have to go buy the boxes, which we can go see how many I can buy at the moment. And if you get lucky, I think you can get the recipe for it. Unless my information's of course wrong on this, because I haven't pulled it yet, but I'm pretty sure you can get it out of these dreamy boxes. Although I have no clue what the chances are, and these are very expensive to pull a large quantity of. And yeah, just like that, I kind of just wasted all my flowers. Which probably should be used for buying these recipes. But also, most of these items are not something I'd probably craft just due to my preferences. But yeah, what would be nice is pulling that out of here. Oh, yeah, it even says you may receive an ultra rare recipe for a mount, so yeah. It does tell you it's in there. It's just, I guess it's just not a great way to do that, but I guess I could go to a bunch of other people's islands and start picking their flowers. And see if we can get that to drop. But I do want to get the True Hoe of Time before I go about doing that, just because then I can kind of just basically go to a lobby, pick some flowers while we wait for other people to show up. And then, just check to make sure we didn't get a legendary objective when we came back. But if I can go check, or just harvest flowers, and then while we wait for others to show up, or I think I've derailed a little bit. Basically, I pick up their flowers while we wait for other people, then we go run the treasure grove, and then I go find the next lobby, or stick with them if we continue. Because some people do refresh the treasure grove until they find something interesting, and then others just end the lobby after you finish, so it will depend on the lobby. And there are a couple things I do want to find in the treasure groves yet, because I need the, I think, like the dark tuna, or I forget what the first word is, but I need like this rare tuna, and then I also need the shadow variant of the Mohawkosaurus at some point. But yeah, the one thing I will say is I wouldn't be surprised if we get a water mount at some point here too, just because they have generally, for the most part, been listening to player feedback so far, so if enough noise is made, it will probably happen. It just might be a little while. Just like, I wouldn't be surprised if they rework some of these recipes at some point, although these, I guess, would be a little less likely to be reworked, just because they do make the True of Time anything a little cheaper. There will be people who will start complaining about them doing that. Just because they've already grinded it out, and then yeah, I don't know. But again, I don't know if they necessarily need to make it cheaper. It would just be better if at some point they decided to go about rotating what the requirements are from the non-woolly horns to maybe some of the meat or the spud or the fish. There, you're gonna get one shot because I can. Absolutely check my wood supplies after this, because I really don't think I need to do any more trees.
Cast aside your doubts.
Don't give up, no matter what. Don't give up, no matter what.
Yeah, I doubt they'd complain about that either, just because the legendary, I mean, in general, I messed up there, but in general with the spawn rates, they are kind of just low enough that I wouldn't mind that getting double of them would be more frequent, or if you just get a random legendary event every time you reset it, or every other time. But yeah, something needs to happen with Don Woolley in specific, though, I think, because I don't like that I have to farm at least 5 of them out every single time. Yeah, that'd definitely be interesting. Can we do that, though? This is just a paladin set for stuff. Not entirely sure how this stuff works. I don't want to auto-equip. I gotta figure out what that works. Is that loadout just for you, and then you can equip your own loadout onto your helper? Also don't know how that works with whippable stuff. If I save that... Let's just be test. We equip that? Okay, and then what happens if I unequip you and try to pull that onto somebody else?
Go ahead. Put me to work.
I guess you can sort of do that already. And then let's go over to my own carpenter and see if that's in there. Or no, it's blacksmith. Yes, it is. So, I mean, it is like a global equipment. You can sort of do that, but yeah, it would be nice to have different things there. But yeah, and then, yeah, I guess if you had a loadout for the party, and then you just hit, like, the X button in this menu or something, and it loaded that up, that would be more efficient, too. But yeah, now that I know I can do this, though, I might actually utilize this, because this would be a little faster for setting up my helpers every time I rotate things. And I definitely don't need the full 10 slots of loadouts for my own character. I don't know, at some point I need to go through my character and set up all the cosmetic stuff, because currently I have like the same armor set on all my characters and they aren't that interesting. And then I guess the other thing is I wouldn't mind them redesigning the party menu a little bit, because I feel like I want a better searching method. But I'm not entirely sure how they would go about doing that. Oh, it's the fish. There's supposed to be a Don Woolley up there, not a fish. Like a huge dead streak. The fish again. The other thing I definitely think I need to do is I need to go investigate the harvesting companions, because I've increasingly went into this mindset where it seems like the crafting companions are the best way to go. Outside of maybe combat, where the combat companions are definitely better than the crafting companions. And I just don't know if if you equip a full team of mining companions, you get them to max affinity, it's better than doing crafting companions for the SP refreshes. Because I always feel like I'm low on SP when I'm not running the crafting companions, and it becomes a problem. Rock. Probably should do the rock, but I don't feel like it. Please game, give me enough Don Woolies so I can then go into the Treasure Grove and do a run of that, because that seems like it'd be more interesting at the moment. But I also knew this was going to be kind of a less exciting stream in general, just because resetting for legendary bosses is always very repetitive. Although, I mean, this is kind of how a stream would be if I was doing like a shiny hunting stream, which may happen at some point for Pokemon. Fish, I don't want you. I want a Don Woolley, which I'm actually going to check for Don Woolies. Yeah, there's no Don Woolley. And I think that's a tree. I don't know how much wood I have, but I don't think I need that. Finally, the Don Woolley! And I don't know, I'm so glad I can just go over to this Don Woolley and then beat Don Woolley in like 2 seconds. Heated phase. Luckily, it doesn't take very much to get you back down anymore. You do one of these on the wizard just to remember how that feels. Okay, we got 4 drops, that's good. I'll need to try to get one of these areas to level 6 at some point just to see if the drop rates get any better at level 6. Of course, that's kind of hard to tell just because it takes a lot to get all the way to rank 6. Then I have absolutely no clue really what you're supposed to do to go all the way up to rank 7. I also don't entirely know why some of the shops have things locked behind you getting the area to rank 7. I mean, I guess if you're gonna spend a very long time in one of these zones farming stuff, maybe you'd reach that, but otherwise I just don't see that happening. Especially because, like, the objective points don't seem to scale. But the other thing that's also kind of happened is, I think, in general, getting to rank 7 doesn't do anything too special. Oh, that's a down Wooly. Where will that put me? So if I get 2, I'll be at 8 out of 10. If I get 1, then I'll be 7 out of 10. So this is either the second to last one, or in the worst situation, the 4th one, or the last. Although, based on how things are going, this is probably the second to last one. Which should probably try getting my drop rate up even higher and seeing if that fixes the issue where I seem to only get a horn and a meat sometimes, or in 2 meats, and it goes to exclusively double horns.
Use this.
14,000. Yeah, I think I've only gotten, 1 area to rank 6 so far. I have wanted to try to get Multana Wastes to rank 6, but it just hasn't happened. Scorchrock Mountain has, I think, literally nothing going on over here until you rank it up, and even then I don't really know what it has going on over there. It's just kind of a sad location. Maybe I'll look into leveling that up at some point, maybe I won't. I'm not really sure there's anything over there. Random cave panthers. And is there a... yeah, there's a campfire over there. I do want to see if I can sleep at the campfire and get him to move, because he's been there for a while. And you've been, like, looking at the sunset for, like, 3 years now. You don't have anything new? Really like the beach? You're still over there. Doesn't seem to get you to move at all. Doesn't rotate what you're selling. Does this get you to move? I don't think this does, because I feel like I've tested this before. I guess while I'm here, I want to check to make sure nobody's got a request. I think it's unlikely. And nothing's going on there. Please, Dawn, get reset.
Ready for battle.
Finally! That did get Dawn to move. Thank you for being all the way over here. Now don't teleport back when I fly over to you. What's going on over here? I guess it's just a general takedown, everything. Please have something interesting, Don. Black cat ears, I want to grab that. That's something new. This actually makes me want to try sleeping at the campfire and then going to Ginormosia and back. Or not Ginormosia, but the home base and back. This is a way to brute force him to move, then I would like to keep doing that.
Ready for battle.
I have no clue what the trigger is to get him to move. I don't know why he moved that previous time around unless it's a time-based thing and you have to refresh the area every time. Anyone have anything over here? Or look at? Or along the lines, if they have a request, I want to do it just because I want to hopefully get more golden flowers tomorrow. Okay, so Don's still here. I don't really know how to get Don to move forcibly. I'm thinking Don just moved the time before because I hit some timer. Get one more Wooly and hopefully we get double drops and I can move on. A very slow Wooly farming. So still pretty good, I think, overall for how long this is taking, because definitely done this before and it had to take way longer. And this should be the last Don Wooly. Random turtles. I guess the other thing to think about is a couple mounts I've yet to grab at the moment, just because they haven't dropped, and I haven't tried to get them to drop. I should try to optimize where exactly to farm those. One of them is a woolly mount, and I just don't know what woolly type, or what type of woolly drops the mount. The antlers make me think it dropped from the legendary Don Woolly, but I doubt that that's what's going on. Yay, 4 drops, so that's guaranteed 2 horns. Yeah, I don't know what Woolly this is, but it looks like legendary Don Woolly from the outline. And that's clearly a lesser Woolly there. I guess it could be a King Woolly. Go kill a King Woolly. And I guess the other thing with it potentially being a King Woolly is that there's just not a great way to go about that, or farming that. Definitely didn't get it there.
Let us end this quickly.
Just go back to the teleportation gate. And time to finish objective number 2 of the stream. Why does this seem incredibly low? Oh, I want to verify you. So we have improved metal armor, life tools, so it shouldn't really matter. Just switch you out. You're even lower. Why are you lower? I should get rid of most of these hammers. Basically, I'll craft myself the True Hammer of Time at some point here, and then get rid of the junk hammers I have. Oh no. I feel like crafting this one way faster than some of the other things I've crafted fast. Use this because I probably should have used that when we rotated into that round, but I didn't think about that quick enough. That is none of the rolls I even wanted on this. Not that that matters, because we can just keep recrafting it. And hopefully we get double charged attack damage up. And please give me double charged attack damage at 10%. Well, we got double charged attack damage, so that's a good sign. Oh, one of them's only a 5% one. And what am I short on now? Probably Redux Stones? Yes. Luckily, that's a pretty easy fix. And real soon we can try a year 900 Fisher Grove. Then again, I've already kinda done one, although it should go a lot smoother than the last time around I did it, because the first time around I did it, it was more of just a proof that it's doable. This time around it'll be, I have all the endgame gear finally, so it's actually reasonable to attempt. I don't know, I'll either stop at 40 or I'll stop at 80 here. Probably 40 though, because that should give me, what, 4 attempts, which is probably enough. And the one thing I will say I'm surprised is I have yet to actually need to try to farm money for any reason. And I think now I'm to the point where my stuff's getting, or certain items are just getting converted into money. I think I've hit the holding cap on certain things. I really don't know where all that dosh came from. For a while there, I was buying a bunch of stuff and hurting a little, but then I could usually sell weapons and just get a bunch of money. And now I just have money from playing the game and not selling anything. Which probably means I've hit the drop rate caps on some of the shadow enemy drops. Any of these easy to complete? Probably most of them. Go pick up that quest. While I'm over here. Quest is upstairs. What do you want? High energy powder, and we already have that, so you're just gonna get it. You for not immediately requesting a berserk potion after that? Yeah, I don't really think there's anybody I would trade a berserk potion for. Oh, I should go check this to see if there's anything interesting in here for this point. I probably got everything in here already though that matters. Or not. I think I saw some of these at some point, and I guess I forgot about it. I don't think I bought this. Maybe? I don't know. I think I saw that you could buy all the bronze stuff in here, and then I think... I didn't buy anything, and then I think what you can also do is you just go over here to the tool shop, and they're for like a fraction of the cost. Yeah. Bunch of patterns I need to buy over here as well, yeah. Yeah, this is definitely the place to go to buy those equipments early game. Don't go to the expensive shop at all. Have anything? No. Now we'll go back to the base and recraft the hoe a couple times, and then we'll start treasure grove diving. Craft a remake. I only have 4 stickers, and I only have 4 crafts, so hopefully it does not take any more than that. Got a lot of hammering to do for this craft. Definitely say I am surprised at how well this has gone to some extent, because I was really expecting, after what happened with the Hunter stream, for this to be a stream where I only get one of them, and then the other one's like most of the way done, but it took so long to get all the woolly horns that both of these weren't going to get crafted. Charge time reduced. That's not quite what I was hoping for. Those are also both the weaker charge time, so could be better. Could do a bunch of hammering again. Thank you all for joining. I'm surprised we have 10 viewers. Get this crafted real soon here. And hopefully we get our charge damage increased up. Charge time reduced again? Am I really gonna end up having to go buy resources? Guess what I could do is do the double 10% here, even though one of those is not what I want at all. Basically just need to hope that this is the run and I don't have to get resources again. And I need to quit hitting A randomly. Need to hope that we get those damage up, but I'm skipping those taps because either I'm bad at that, or the timing just always seems weird for me. In terms of, I feel like it takes too long to do it. Charged attack damage up, please be the 10% one and not the 5. We just traded the 5 out to get the 5 again, and this is our last redo, so it better happen on this run. Because currently, it hasn't been happening that frequently. That here, because we get this whole phase. Do these, we'll switch to a companion and auto-complete it. And hopefully this is the run, otherwise I gotta go buy more Redux stones. So I mean, in theory, the 10% charge and 10% sweet spot should be the same, I would assume. And I haven't tried to test that. I'm mostly going for the charge because it'll work even if you're not on the sweet spot. Then again, if there is different stacking effects, it could be better to run both. So, I don't know, it might be worth testing that at some point here. Which, I'm not going to test on the hoe because the hoe doesn't really have the sweet spot in the same way. But we could try testing that on the axe, or the pickaxe, or pretty much anything. And then we'd know if they stack differently. But unless they stack differently, the charged is going to be better if you're only using charged attacks, and then the sweet spot damage is going to be better, I guess, if you're not using charged attacks. Although generally, I would think you would just do the charged attack, because that seems to be the fastest way. Yeah, then I mean, charge reduction is always nice, or SP reduction, although basically kind of what I've ran into with running the crafting companions, as I generally don't have to worry about that. And I do want to try to age one of these weapons and see if you can get a 30% damage buff. Or what's all limited in there, because I think we don't have enough data on the aging effects. Or if we do, I don't think I've seen it yet. And then the other issue with, I think, people gathering data on aging is because it's not like a guaranteed thing in each run. And if you want to have the maximum buffs, you need to do the highest difficulty runs. It slows down testing unless somebody's data mined the game somewhere and extracted out all the data pertaining to that. Which I would assume may have already happened. Although if it did happen, I don't know if the information got out wide enough. Especially because I doubt this game has any crazy encryption. We need to go back to the home village. I don't know why I'm running back over there. I guess the one thing I should check is the restaurant. Do you have any interesting patterns? Steak and a honey flan. I think there's another Indian tavern. We'll go check that too for recipes. Okay, so you're the cook. For the food, I'm still an apprentice cook, but I can issue serviceable. It's pretty much just an inn. Oh no, this is the tavern. We get popcorn, pint of wheat juice, and bowl of buttered corn. You get the popcorn and then go put that in the base and try to make some sort of movie room somewhere or something. really want my companions to give me more quests. We can try resting for a day and seeing if that does anything. Which... I should probably put another bed on the first floor so I don't have to go all the way up to the second floor.
Yo!
Ahem.
Please say you have an interesting quest. Not super interesting, but at least it's a really quick one to complete.
Thank you.
Because what I am looking for is... I think if you get the right quest from one of the alchemist buddies, is they will give you a recipe for the Crit Aid Plus. And I've mostly been looking into trying to get that just because I think that's a good item to try to craft. But so far I haven't been very lucky, and then the other thing with doing the quests is it seems like it increases the rate at which you get golden flowers, which is pretty much only relevant, I guess, if you're not doing the time skip exploit for that. But because I'm currently not doing that, I do need to get that. I will sell you that. So I feel like you kind of scammed me off of that price. Can I put anything else on here? These seem kind of weird items to put for art display. Yeah, at some point I will try to max that out. For a reason you keep coming over to me. You're giving me something. Oh nice, we got the fan. Trying to give me your strangeling form. Must have done something right. I did do that on one of the other ones, because I did get the cat here. But yeah, that is something you can do where your companions do give you their strangeling form eventually. Guess we'll claim this just because it doesn't hurt to keep stacking up stuff. Now time to go remake the Hoe of Time, and hopefully we actually get our, or at least the role I'm going for. Side note, I actually need to go buy more patterns for that.
Need something, eh?
It may be cheaper to craft these at some point, but I have so much money at this point, I don't know what to do with it. Actually, look at the crafting cost on that. Honestly, that doesn't really look that expensive at all. The only thing I'm not sure how to get a whole lot of is the marine thread, but that is mostly probably because I haven't tried to get it. Cave Star. That would make sense why I don't have a whole lot of that. I don't go down in there and farm Cave Stars for any reason. And that is a very specific spot for dropping. Or specific enemy to be fighting in the depths. Hopeless to pulling that blacksmithing number up to the current year. We get 2025 blacksmithing pretty quickly, probably, if I do leveling alone. So not that the number I think matters a whole lot after a certain point, especially with the buffs like improved crafting for life tools, improved crafting for weapons or anything. But I do wonder what the max is for getting that, at least at the moment, but it would take a lot of resources to do that, because you would need, what, 3 hammers of time, or 3 saws of time, or literally any 3 for any of the crafting lives, and it'd just be ridiculously expensive to attempt to even set something like that up. Not that it wouldn't be possible, it's just very time-consuming for something that is probably not worth the effort. Please give me the roll here so I can start looking into running a treasure grove. Okay, so this could be the final roll that I'm going for. Yes, we got charged attack damage. We got massive hits now. I guess if we want to do sweet spot charged attack testing, we can try that on something. Oh wait, this is not the right thing to be even looking at that for. Pick something like this. What do we have on here? So basically, I guess let's make sure I can get a sweet spot reasonably on this before we do too much. Gathering skills. I don't know, we'll just try this and see what happens. I guess doing this is also probably not the optimal way. Fossil harvester, I didn't want that at all. Try that one more time. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to get sweet spot, because it doesn't look like a clear you put this on the weapon and you can get it situation. And try a couple more after this. So I will have to go restock supplies. Mostly hoping it just pops in here. And this is mostly just a stacking test, which means I need to get double of 1 on something of equivalent power if I get this. Okay, so we did get sweet spot damage plus. We can at least test to see if there's some weird stacking interaction, because it's entirely possible if there's a weird stacking interaction, this outdamages the True Pickaxe of Time, and if so, that means I need to go get that roll on the True Pickaxe of Time. But I also don't expect it to be too crazy. The only thing that's going to be a little annoying is that there's a bit of variance with hitting things.
Cast aside your doubts.
We do that, that's 21,000. Stone, please regenerate all the way. 18,000. Okay, we gotta wait for the stone to regen. Please regen faster. Okay.
Cast aside your doubts.
Like between 17 and 21,000. I can't wait to accidentally one-shot it here because these aren't actually comparable enough weapons. 25,000. So it is unlikely that there's a ridiculous stat multiplier, but this still isn't the best test at all. So we will need to go craft another one of those. But again, I keep getting a lucky strike. Problem what's actually going on here. 19,000. Might be something going on there. So that does mean let's craft another one of those pickaxes. It's also kind of hard to tell just because the damage numbers are very variable and it seems like something's rolling every time you do a hit and you get wildly different numbers outside of the critical. Okay, I craft one of those again. Yes, I can. I also want to make sure that other one was legendary. So we just craft them both at legendary and we'll know pretty quickly if it matters. But my guess is the damage is just stacking. The only thing I would assume that might have a weird interaction is like crit damage with the base damage. Because I will say, so if you played Megaton Musashi, which was also done by level 5, the crit damage multiplied against the other damage you were doing. So essentially, when you had higher crit damage multipliers going on and higher base damage, you'd get a lot higher damage, but then if you only did higher base damage, your damage wouldn't change a whole lot if you weren't critting. So it was kind of a weird interaction going on there, but if you understood that that's how damage worked, then you could do a ton of damage. I don't know why I got out of that menu. We need to craft the pickaxe. Which, if there is a weird interaction in this game like that, then crit damage may be the way to go. The only issue is there a way to get crit rate up high enough to justify doing that? Because at least I am currently unaware of any way to buff crit rate outside of your stuff built into your life. Although I have not done enough recrafting on armor pieces or crafting on armor pieces to know that that can't happen on there, or maybe on the classes. I think I forgot to put the extra materials on this. We will be fully remaking that. That didn't do anything for testing. I'm gonna go sell all of those pickaxes next. And I need to go get redux stone, so be selling some pickaxes, but we'll have our answer real soon. And then after this, we're doing a treasure grove. We're not going to do any further testing.
Ready for battle.
Okay, stream. Let's say you're just buffering on my end, and it's not ended the stream. Okay, yeah, it looks like the stream's still going, but yeah, earlier today I was streaming, and things started buffering, and then the stream ended. Get 40 of these, because I don't know how many recrafts this is gonna take. But I suspect we're getting almost identical damage numbers here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take that long to test this, especially because you can just kind of get these resources, and I'm kind of abundant for things at the moment. So the one thing I do want to do while we're over here is sell all of these pickaxes. I don't know if I want to sell that one, but don't want to sell that. I gotta actually, is there a way to filter? That hopefully should prevent deleting a legendary one, because I don't think there should be any legendary ones in here. I guess I did delete that one pickaxe I didn't want to, but also, if I'm ever going to actually use that pickaxe again, I would kind of need to recraft it anyways. Okay. Now the pickaxe menu should be reasonable to look at. I guess the only thing that's going to be somewhat annoying is the optimal way to test this is to probably also make a third pickaxe that is double sweet spot damage. Which we get to if things eventually get there. Although I guess if I'm going to go for, I should probably try going for that first. I don't really know if I got that out of pure RNG or if it was this applique doing it. Okay, so it's definitely that applique at this point. Oh, we don't want the plus 5%, we want the plus 10%. I'm gonna go buy a couple more of those.
Need something, eh? Need something, eh? Come back soon.
I probably should have chose like the cheapest pickaxe for this. But since we're already invested in this one, we're doing this one. It's too late to change that now. And I'd have to do or remake the other one, so. Hopefully we get that rolled out soon so we can test things. Then I'll have to go make the third one so we can verify that there's nothing going on with the sweet spot, because I suspect the damage is probably almost identical between these. Though certain ones might affect your companions differently. But I'm probably not gonna investigate that. Mostly I think that because your companions aren't gonna be able to do like charged attack damage. But then again, since it seems like your companions buff you might get the charged attack damage out of that. Or the sweet. Yeah, we didn't get what we wanted there. Hopefully we get it relatively quickly. The main issue is I still don't actually know if this applique is rigging the odds in our favor for actually getting this, or if it's hurting it. I'm increasingly not liking what's going on here. I might take the applique off for the next round of testing. Okay, so we did get another sweet spot, so it's likely... Are we only getting the 5% versions, though? At this point, I might as well buy like 80 of these here. what else do I need to do if I craft a third pickaxe? Or are we just good on that? Okay, so I can at least go for that third pickaxe, and then we'll have hopefully everything ready for testing. Only I could buy multiple of these at once. At this point, we're gonna try buying 80 of these, because that should give us more tries without having to come back here. Yeah, I do wish this just didn't take so long to buy all these games. But also, I think this is probably not... I mean, I'd be surprised if this wasn't just a typo here. As to this giving you 50 instead of like 20 or 30.